Abandoned at the hospital, she held her newborn alone, until a Russian Pakhan claimed mother and child. The fluorescent lights hum overhead like angry wasps, casting everything in the maternity ward a sickly greenish yellow that makes my skin look corpse pale in the reflection. I press my palm flat against the cold glass of the nursery window, watching the tiny bundle wrapped in pink hospital cotton. My daughter. 4 days old and still nameless because I can't bring myself to choose a name alone. Because naming her makes this real. Makes the abandonment real. The antiseptic smell burns my nostrils, mixing with the sour-sweet scent of breast milk that's leaked through my hospital gown again. My body aches in places I didn't know existed. A deep, bone-grinding throb that reminds me I created life and nearly destroyed myself doing it. 37 hours of labor. Emergency C-section when her heart rate dropped. And through it all, I was alone. Miss Harper. The nurse's voice cuts through my fog. Kind voice, pitying voice. I hate it. He's still in the waiting room. Been there since yesterday afternoon. Not visitor, not partner, not the father, just he. Because even the nurses know. Even they've seen the way Marcus looked at our daughter through this same glass 2 days ago, his face twisted with doubt and disgust, and said those words that shattered everything. I need a paternity test before I sign anything. 3 years together. 3 years of me putting him through business school, working double shifts at the clinic, believing in us, believing in him. 9 months of carrying his child while he moved on to someone else. Someone with a trust fund and a corner office and no stretch marks. And now he wants proof. I press my forehead against the glass, feeling it fog with my breath. Through my reflection, I can see her. Impossibly small. Impossibly perfect. Dark wisps of hair like mine. Tiny fists curled like she's ready to fight the world from day one. She has his nose, I think. Or maybe I'm imagining it because I want her to have something of him, some piece of the man I thought he was. She deserves better than this. Better than a mother who's 26 with a maxed-out credit card and $43 in her checking account. Better than a father who treats her birth certificate like a business contract that needs legal review. Tell him I'm sleeping, I whisper to the nurse. She squeezes my shoulder with that practiced sympathy they probably teach in nursing school, right between how to insert IVs and how to deliver bad news without crying yourself. As she walks away, rubber-soled shoes squeaking against the linoleum, I catch sight of movement in the hallway reflection. A man. Tall. Dark suit that probably costs more than my car. He moves differently than the doctors and visitors and anxious fathers pacing these halls. Purposeful. Predatory. Controlled. Even from behind, I can see the way people part for him like the Red Sea. The way nurses press themselves against walls, eyes downcast. The way other visitors suddenly find somewhere else to be. My breath catches. He stops 3 doors down from the nursery, speaking in low tones to someone I can't see. Italian leather shoes gleaming under these terrible lights. Dark hair cut with precision, not a strand out of place. Charcoal suit tailored perfectly to broad shoulders. When he turns slightly, I glimpse a sharp jawline, high cheekbones, the kind of profile that belongs on ancient coins or in museums under glass. Then his bodyguard appears. Because of course he has a bodyguard. A mountain of a man in a black suit with an earpiece and dead eyes, carrying what looks like a hospital bassinet covered with a blanket. Expensive blanket. Cashmere, maybe. Something about the scene makes my stomach twist. The way the nurses watch him with fear disguised as respect. The way he commands space without raising his voice. The subtle bulge under his guard's jacket that definitely isn't a phone. I should look away. Should go back to my room and deal with Marcus and his demands for DNA tests, and his new girlfriend Ashley, who's already posting pregnancy announcements on Instagram, even though she's barely 12 weeks along. Already planning the family Marcus and I were supposed to have. But I can't stop watching. The man moves to the nursery window, standing almost exactly where I'd been moments before. His reflection in the glass is all sharp angles and shadows, beautiful in a way that makes you think of fallen angels and Renaissance paintings of Lucifer before the fall. Dark eyes, strong brow, lips pressed into a hard line. When he looks at the babies, something flickers across his face. Loss, longing, raw grief that makes him human for just a second before the mask slams back down. Then his eyes shift. Find mine in the reflection. I should look away. I know I should. But I'm exhausted and emotionally hollowed out, and those eyes, dark, intense, burning with something I can't name, hold me frozen like a rabbit in headlights. The corner of his mouth lifts. Barely. Not quite a smile. An acknowledgement. Then Marcus's voice shatters the moment. Emma, we need to talk about this. My lawyer says... I spin around, my hospital gown swishing against my legs. Marcus stands there in his business casual uniform. Khakis, button-down, loafers, safe, boring. Everything I thought I wanted when I was 23 and desperate for stability. Ashley hovers behind him like a designer accessory, all highlighted hair and athleisure wear that probably cost more than my monthly rent. She has her hand on her stomach in that proprietary way pregnant women do, even though there's nothing to show yet. Your lawyer? My voice cracks. She's 4 days old, Marcus. 4 days and you've already got lawyers involved? Be reasonable. He has the audacity to look annoyed, like I'm the one being difficult. You know how these things work. I just need to verify. Verify. The word tastes like battery acid. I was faithful to you for 3 years. You're the one who... Don't make a scene. He glances around, embarrassed, always worried about appearances, about what people think. Ashley and I just want to make sure everything's handled properly before... Before what? I'm louder now, louder than I should be in a hospital hallway. Before you play happy family with her while denying your own daughter. The man in the expensive suit is closer now. I hadn't seen him move, but he's there, maybe 10 feet away, watching our interaction with eyes that miss absolutely nothing. His guard stands slightly behind him, hand resting near that suspicious bulge under his jacket. Look. Marcus lowers his voice, trying for reasonable. I'll sign the certificate after the test. It's just a formality. A formality? My laugh is brittle, sharp enough to cut. She needs a name, Marcus. She needs her birth certificate for insurance, for pediatrician appointments, for... Then pick a name and register her with just your name, Ashley interjects, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. Problem solved. Something inside me cracks. Maybe it's the exhaustion. Maybe it's the hormones. Maybe it's 4 days of staring at my daughter through glass and knowing I can't give her everything she deserves. Maybe it's 3 years of loving a man who turned out to be a coward. Get out, I whisper. Emma, be rational. Get out. Louder now. Loud enough that nurses look over. Loud enough that the man in the expensive suit tilts his head, interest sharpening in those dangerous eyes. Marcus holds up his hands like I'm being hysterical. Fine. Call me when you're ready to be reasonable. Come on, Ash. They leave, her heels clicking against the floor like tiny hammers. I stand there shaking, feeling tears burn behind my eyes, but refusing to let them fall. Not here. Not where everyone can see how completely I'm falling apart. Svolok, a voice says beside me. Deep, accented, wrapping around the Russian curse like velvet over steel. I jerk, not having heard him approach. Up close, he's devastating. Not handsome in the conventional sense, but compelling in a way that makes it hard to look away. Early 30s, maybe. Dark eyes that have seen too much. Full lips that look like they've forgotten how to smile. A small scar through his left eyebrow that somehow makes him more attractive. Excuse me? My voice comes out smaller than I intended. Your ex. He nods toward the hallway where Marcus disappeared. He is Svolok. How do you say scum? The coward kind who hides behind lawyers and new women instead of facing what he has done. His English is perfect, just touched with an accent that makes every word sound deliberate. Important. He smells like expensive cologne and something darker. Gunpowder, maybe. Or leather. The kind of scent that shouldn't be attractive, but somehow is. I'm sorry, do I know you? No. He studies me with unsettling intensity, like he's reading a book written in my bones. But I know men like him. Weak. Selfish. The kind who create life and walk away when it becomes inconvenient. Something about the way he says it makes me think he's not just talking about Marcus. I should get back to my room. I wrap my arms around myself, suddenly aware of how thin my hospital gown is. How vulnerable I look with my unwashed hair and milk-stained clothes and eyes swollen from crying. Your daughter. He glances toward the nursery. She is beautiful. She has your eyes. That stops me. You can't possibly tell that from... I can. Absolute certainty. And she deserves better than a father who demands proof and a mother who is breaking herself trying to hold everything together alone. The tears I've been holding back threaten to spill. You don't know anything about me. I know you have been wearing the same hospital bracelet for 4 days. I know you have barely left this hallway except to feed her. I know you are terrified of what comes next because you cannot see a way forward. He moves closer. Close enough that I can feel the heat radiating off him despite the frigid air conditioning. And I know that when your ex walked away just now, you did not cry until you thought no one was watching. Hearing my name in his mouth sends a shiver down my spine. How do you... The nurse said it. I pay attention. His lips curve slightly. It is how I stay alive. That should be a warning. Should send me running back to my room to lock the door and call security. But I'm so tired of being afraid, of being alone, of pretending I have any idea what I'm doing. I am Nikolai, he says. Nikolai Volkov. He doesn't offer his hand. Men like him don't shake hands with women like me. They own, they take, they command. Even in introduction, there's possession in the way he says his name, like he's branding it into my memory. I start backing toward my room. Wait. Not a request. An order wrapped in silk. Your daughter needs a birth certificate. Your ex will not sign. What if I could solve that problem? I stop. What do you mean? He glances at his guard, some silent communication passing between them. I have resources, connections. I could ensure your daughter gets everything she needs without requiring anything from him. I don't understand. Why would you? Because I can. Simple. Absolute. Terrifying. Because men like him should not have power over women like you. And because... He pauses, something dangerous flickering in his eyes. Because I want to. Every instinct screams at me to run. This man is dangerous. Everything about him, from the expensive suit to the armed guard, to the way he speaks about solving problems, screams danger. But I look at the nursery, at my daughter sleeping peacefully, unaware that her father just walked away, and her mother has no idea how to protect her from the world. What would you want in return? I ask, hating how my voice shakes. Nikolai smiles then. Slow, predatory. We will discuss terms, but first... He pulls out a phone, one of several I can see in his jacket, and makes a call. Rapid Russian, too fast for me to follow even if I spoke the language. When he hangs up, that terrifying certainty is back. My lawyer will be here within the hour. He will handle the birth certificate, ensure everything is legal and binding without your ex's signature. That's not possible. The law requires... The law, he interrupts softly, is flexible when you know the right people. Trust me, Emma. By tomorrow, your daughter will have her name, her certificate, and her future secured. I can't pay you for... I am not asking for money. He steps closer, and I can see gold flecks in his dark eyes, can smell that intoxicating mix of danger and expensive taste. I am asking for time, dinner, when you are recovered, a conversation. That is all. That isn't all. I know it in my bones, in the way my body responds to his proximity with equal parts terror and something I don't want to name. Just dinner? I whisper. Just dinner, he agrees. But the way he looks at me says he's already imagining so much more. Before I can respond, before I can think through the implications of accepting help from a man who clearly operates outside the law, his lawyer appears. An older man in an expensive suit carrying a briefcase that probably cost more than my car. This is Emma Harper, Nikolai says without looking away from me. Her daughter needs documentation. Handle it. Of course, Mr. Volkov. The lawyer turns to me with practiced efficiency. Miss Harper, if you will just sign here and here, I will have everything processed by morning. What name would you like for your daughter? I stand frozen, caught between terror and hope, between the safe poverty I know and the dangerous luxury being offered. Lily, I hear myself say. Lily Grace Harper. Beautiful, Nikolai murmurs, and the way he says it makes me think he's not just talking about the name. The next morning, I wake to find legal documents on the rolling table beside my hospital bed. Crisp, official, stamped with seals I don't recognize, but that look impossibly legitimate. Lily Grace Harper's birth certificate, complete with my signature and a father's line that simply reads, "Decline to establish paternity. No DNA test required. No Marcus's permission needed." Just like that, my daughter has a name, an identity. I should feel relief. Instead, my hands tremble as I hold the paper, reading it over and over while weak morning sunlight filters through the blinds. The document is real. I'd called the county clerk's office twice to confirm, pacing my room while Lily slept. But the price tag remains invisible, hovering over me like a storm cloud. What does Nikolai Volkov want? Ready for discharge, honey? The morning nurse bustles in with forced cheerfulness. Doctor signed off. You and baby girl are free to go home. Home. My studio apartment in the bad part of town with its leaking ceiling and neighbors who fight at 3 in the morning. The secondhand car seat I'd bought from a garage sale is still in my closet. I'd watched 4 YouTube videos on installation, taking notes like it was a final exam. I have $637 in my checking account. No job to return to. The clinic let me go the week before I gave birth, said they needed someone more reliable. And Marcus, the man who promised to take care of us, wants a paternity test before he'll acknowledge his own daughter. Yeah, I manage. We're ready. Except I'm not. I'm not ready for any of this. 2 hours later, I stand in the hospital lobby with Lily bundled in my arms, wearing a cheap going-home outfit from Target. The automatic doors whoosh open and closed, bringing blasts of March cold that make the air conditioning work overtime. Other families leave with balloons and flowers, fathers carrying car seats, grandmothers crying happy tears. I have a diaper bag from Goodwill and a growing sense of panic. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. A car is waiting for you outside. Driver will take you home. N. I look up sharply, scanning the lobby. There, through the glass doors, a black Mercedes sedan with tinted windows. A driver in a crisp suit stands beside it, waiting with the patience of someone who gets paid well to be patient. No. Absolutely not. I'm not some charity case for a dangerous man to... Lily whimpers against my chest, her tiny face scrunching up in that way that means she'll be screaming soon if I don't feed her. My breasts ache with milk. My incision pulls with every step. And the Uber I'd called 15 minutes ago still shows searching for driver. The Mercedes driver catches my eye through the glass and nods once. Professional. Discreet. I should walk away, call a different rideshare company, maintain some shred of independence. Instead, I push through the doors, letting the cold slap me in the face as I approach the car. Miss Harper. The driver opens the rear door, revealing leather seats that probably cost more than my entire apartment's furniture. Mr. Volkov sends his regards. He has arranged for your car seat to be professionally installed. Sure enough, a top-of-the-line infant seat is perfectly secured in the back. Not the secondhand one from my closet, but something with every safety feature known to man. Expensive, safe, perfect. I can't accept, I start. He anticipated you would say that. The driver's expression remains neutral. He said to tell you it is not a gift. It is an investment in ensuring his goddaughter arrives home safely. Goddaughter? The word comes out strangled. We're not. Nevertheless. The driver gestures to the open door. It is quite cold, Miss Harper. The baby should be out of this weather. He's right. Lily's already fussing, her face turning red. I look at the Uber app. Still searching. Look at the Mercedes with its climate-controlled interior and professionally installed car seat. Look at my daughter, who deserves better than her mother's stubborn pride. I get in the car. The door closes with the solid thunk of German engineering. Inside, it's warm and quiet, smelling of leather and something subtle, the same cologne Nikolai wore yesterday. A bottle of water sits in the cup holder beside a small gift bag. What's this? I ask as the driver pulls smoothly away from the hospital. Mr. Volkov thought you might need refreshments. He catches my eye in the rearview mirror. The bag contains some essentials for the baby. Diapers, wipes, formula in case you need it. Nothing extravagant. Nothing extravagant apparently means organic diapers, premium wipes, and European formula that costs $50 a can. There's also an envelope. My hands shake as I open it. Inside, a card with elegant script. For Lily's first month. No strings, no expectations, just breathing room. N behind the card, a check for $10,000. I stop breathing. $10,000. That's rent for months, groceries, baby supplies, doctor visits, the breathing room between desperation and survival. I can't accept this, I whisper to the empty car. The driver says nothing, navigating traffic with expert precision. We're heading toward my neighborhood, the part of town where people like Nikolai Volkov definitely don't visit. Where chain-link fences protect nothing worth stealing, and sirens are the neighborhood lullaby. My phone buzzes again. You can accept it. You will accept it. Lily deserves more than watching her mother drown. Consider it a loan if pride demands it. Pay me back when you are on your feet. Or do not. Either way, cash it. N. How did you get my number? The response comes immediately. I know everything about you, Emma Harper. Your address, your employment history, your ex's new girlfriend's trust fund, the fact that you have eaten nothing but hospital cafeteria food for 4 days because you have been too afraid to leave the maternity ward. I know you are scared. I know you are alone. And I know you are too stubborn to ask for help even when you are drowning. My breath catches. That should terrify me. Should send me scrambling for the door locks, screaming for the driver to stop. Instead, something warm and dangerous unfurls in my chest. Someone sees me. Really sees me. Not the brave face I show the nurses or the composed mask I wore around Marcus. Someone looked past all that and saw the terrified girl underneath. This is insane. You don't even know me. I know enough. And I want to know more. Have dinner with me tomorrow night. I will send a car at 7. I have a newborn. I can't just bring her. I have a house, not a restaurant reservation. My housekeeper raised 6 children. Lily will be safe while we talk. Why are you doing this? The response takes longer this time. When it comes, it feels like truth wrapped in barbed wire. Because 3 years ago, someone should have helped my sister when she needed it. No one did. She died alone and afraid with my nephew still in her womb. And I have spent every day since then making sure I am the kind of man who does not let that happen to someone else. The car pulls up to my apartment building. Cracked sidewalk, graffiti on the dumpster, a drunk sleeping against the side of the building in the middle of the day. The driver gets out, retrieving a stroller from the trunk. Another expensive piece I definitely hadn't owned yesterday. He helps me transfer Lily without waking her, sets up the stroller with practiced efficiency. "What time tomorrow evening, Miss Harper?" he asks. I should say no. Should thank him politely, take my daughter upstairs, and block Nikolai's number. 7, I hear myself say. "I'll be ready at 7. The driver smiles just slightly. "Excellent. Mr. Volkov will be pleased." He drives away, leaving me standing on the cracked sidewalk with my sleeping daughter and $10,000 I can't afford to refuse. The next 36 hours pass in a blur of feeding schedules, diaper changes, and the terrifying realization that I'm completely responsible for keeping a tiny human alive. My apartment has never felt smaller. Every cry echoes off the thin walls. Every creak makes me jump. Every moment of silence has me checking to make sure Lily's still breathing. I cash the check. Hate myself for it, but cash it anyway. Pay rent 3 months in advance. Buy groceries, real groceries, not ramen and peanut butter. Stock up on diapers and wipes and all the things that drain bank accounts faster than anything else. And at 6:30 the next evening, I stand in front of my closet, realizing I own nothing appropriate for dinner with a man who probably has politicians on his payroll. I settle on a simple black dress I'd worn to my mother's funeral 2 years ago. It's too loose now. Pregnancy and stress stole 15 pounds I couldn't afford to lose. But it's clean and modest and the best I have. I feed Lily, change her into the nicest onesie from the gift bag, and try to ignore the voice in my head screaming that I'm making a terrible mistake. The Mercedes arrives at exactly 7. Different driver this time. Younger, with calculating eyes that sweep the street before opening my door. "Miss Harper, I am Alexei. I will be escorting you this evening." The drive takes 45 minutes, heading away from the city into neighborhoods where houses become estates and gates become necessary. We turn onto a private road, passing through security that makes airport screening look casual. The driver speaks into his radio in Russian, and massive iron gates swing open. The house beyond is not a house. It's a fortress. Modern architecture blending with old-world security. Cameras everywhere. Guards stationed at intervals. Spotlights that could probably be seen from space. "Holy shit," I whisper. Alexei's lips twitch. Mr. Volkov values his privacy. We pull up to the main entrance where Nikolai stands waiting, backlit by warm interior light. He's traded the suit for dark jeans and a black sweater with the sleeves pushed up, revealing forearms roped with muscle, and a tattoo I can't quite make out. Casual wealth, dangerous elegance. He opens my door himself before Alexei can move. Emma. My name sounds different in his mouth. Significant. "Welcome." I try to get out gracefully while holding Lily's car seat. Fail miserably. His hand catches my elbow, steadying me, and the touch sends electricity straight to my bones. "Easy," he murmurs. "Let me." He takes the car seat like he's done it 1,000 times, cradling it with surprising gentleness. She has grown already. Is that possible? It has been 2 days. 2 days and 9 hours, I say before I can stop myself. His eyes meet mine, something dark and possessive flickering in their depths. But who is counting? He leads me inside through a foyer that belongs in magazines. Marble floors. Artwork that's probably worth more than most people's houses. A chandelier that casts prismatic light across everything. But it's not cold. There are fresh flowers, Warm wood accents. The smell of something delicious cooking. "Katya!" he calls. A woman in her 60s appears, her face lighting up when she sees Lily. "Oh, Bože moi, look at this precious angel." "Katya, this is Emma and her daughter Lily." "Emma, Katya essentially raised me and my sister after our mother passed. If anyone can handle a newborn, it is her." Katya's already reaching for the car seat with practiced expertise. "You go have dinner. I will take the best care of this little one. She needs changing, yes? I can see. And maybe a bottle later. I'm breastfeeding, but I pump some just in case." "Perfect. Perfect. We have everything we need. You relax. Talk to Nikolai. Eat something. You look like you have not had a proper meal in weeks." Before I can protest, she's swept away with Lily, cooing in Russian, leaving me alone with Nikolai in his fortress of a home. "She is right," he says softly. "You do look like you have not eaten properly. Come." He guides me through the house with a hand at the small of my back, possessive, protective, burning through the thin fabric of my dress. We emerge onto a terrace overlooking grounds that seem to stretch forever. A table is set for two, candles flickering despite the early evening light. Wine chilling in a bucket. Food that smells like heaven. "Sit," he says. Not asks, says. I sit. He pours wine for himself, water for me. "You are nursing," he says. I remembered. "You remember everything, don't you? Everything that matters." He settles across from me, all predatory grace. "Eat, Emma. Then we will talk about why I really brought you here." My stomach drops. The birth certificate. The money. It wasn't charity. No. His smile is sharp enough to cut. It was an investment. And now it is time to discuss the returns. The food is incredible. Handmade pasta with a sauce that tastes like someone's grandmother spent hours perfecting it. Fresh bread still warm from the oven. Vegetables that actually have flavor, not the frozen garbage I've been living on. I try to eat slowly, maintain some dignity, but I'm starving. Hospital food and frozen dinners have been my diet for too long. Nikolai watches me eat with unsettling intensity, barely touching his own plate. Every time I look up, those dark eyes are on me. Cataloging, analyzing, possessing. "You are not eating," I finally say, reaching for my water to avoid his gaze. "I am enjoying watching you eat. There is something—" He pauses, searching for the word. "Honest about the way you experience pleasure. No pretense, no performance, just genuine enjoyment." Heat creeps up my neck. The way he says pleasure makes it sound obscene. "You wanted to talk about returns on your investment," I say, trying to steer us back to safer ground. "What does that mean?" He leans back in his chair, swirling the wine in his glass. Behind him, the sun is setting, painting the sky in shades of blood orange and bruised purple. It makes him look like something out of a Renaissance painting. Beautiful and terrible. "Your ex," he begins. "Marcus Morrison. He works for Morrison and Associates, his father's investment firm. Junior partner. Makes decent money but nothing extraordinary. Yet he lives in a penthouse downtown, drives a Porsche, and his new girlfriend wears jewelry that costs more than his annual salary." I blink. "How do you know all that?" "Because I make it my business to know things. And what I know about Marcus Morrison is that he has been stealing from his father's clients for the past 18 months. Small amounts from each account, cleverly hidden. Almost $4 million total." My fork clatters against the plate. "That's impossible. Marcus is not smart enough for that kind of fraud." "Exactly." Nikolai's smile is blade thin. "Which is why I know someone else is pulling the strings. Someone who needed a weak, greedy man with access to other people's money. Someone who has been using him and will eventually feed him to the authorities when the heat gets too close. What does this have to do with me? With Lily?" He sets down his wineglass with deliberate care. 6 months ago, Marcus stole money from the wrong account. An account that belongs to an associate of mine. A very particular associate who does not forgive theft, regardless of the amount. My mouth goes dry. You're saying Marcus stole from the Bratva? I am saying Marcus stole from a businessman with connections to various organizations, including mine. And that businessman wants his money back, plus interest, plus blood. He pauses, metaphorically speaking, mostly. The word blood sticks in my throat. The point is, Nikolai continues, Marcus has made himself a target, and when men like my associate deal with targets, they do not worry much about collateral damage. Girlfriends, ex-girlfriends, children. Ice floods my veins. Lily, you're saying my daughter is in danger because of what Marcus did? I am saying she could be, unless someone with more influence made it clear that you and Lily are under protection. That touching either of you would be a declaration of war against the Volkov family. I push back from the table, standing on shaky legs. This is insane. You're using my daughter as leverage to what? Get back at Marcus? Prove some kind of point? He stands too, moving around the table with that predatory grace. I am offering you protection. Real, tangible protection that will keep you and Lily safe from consequences you did not create, but will suffer anyway if someone does not intervene. And what do you get out of this? I back away, but there's nowhere to go. The terrace railing presses against my spine. Men like you don't do anything without getting something in return. You are right. He stops inches away, close enough that I can feel the heat radiating off him. Smell that intoxicating cologne mixed with something darker. I do not. And what I want, Emma, is you. My breath catches. Excuse me? Not like that. Not yet. His hand comes up, fingers ghosting along my jawline without quite touching. I want you in my home. You and Lily, under my protection, my name, my care. I want to know that when I wake up, you are both safe. That when I come home, you are here. That no one can touch you without going through me first. You want me to be your... what? Your mistress? Your kept woman? I want you to be mine. Simple. Absolute. Terrifying. However you want to define that. Companion, partner. Eventually, when you are ready, something more. But first and foremost, I want you safe. I want Lily to grow up knowing she is protected, cherished, given every opportunity life can offer. In exchange for what? My voice shakes. My freedom? My independence? Becoming some mob boss's property? His jaw tightens. I am not a mob boss. I am a businessman with complicated associations. And I am not asking for your freedom. I am offering you more freedom than you have ever had. No more worrying about rent. No more choosing between food and diapers. No more exhausting yourself at a job that does not pay enough while Lily stays with whatever cheap daycare you can afford. I am offering you security, Emma. Real security. At what cost? Loyalty. His hand drops to my waist, burning through the thin fabric. Honesty. Your presence in my home, in my life. And eventually, when you are ready, everything else you are willing to give. I should push him away. Should demand he call the driver and take me home immediately. But his words have struck something deep. The bone-tired exhaustion of trying to survive alone. The terror of knowing I can't protect Lily from everything. The desperate hope that maybe, just maybe, someone strong enough could. I don't even know you. I whisper. You know enough. You know I keep my promises. You know I have resources to protect you. You know that when I say you will be safe, I mean it with every connection, every favor, every weapon at my disposal. His other hand comes to my face, cupping my cheek with surprising gentleness. And you know that I have been thinking about you every moment since I saw you in that hallway, looking at your daughter like she was worth fighting the world for. Why? The question comes out broken. Why me? You could have anyone. Women who are beautiful, sophisticated, who belong in your world. I do not want women from my world. His thumb traces my lower lip and I stop breathing. They are like expensive sculptures. Beautiful, perfect, cold. You are real. You feel things deeply. You fight for what matters. And when you look at your daughter, I see the kind of love I thought died with my sister. That is worth more than all the sophisticated women in the world. Tears burn behind my eyes. This is crazy. People don't just move in together with someone they barely know. People in my world do things differently, faster, because we understand how quickly everything can be taken away. His forehead presses against mine, and the intimacy of it steals my breath. I am not asking you to love me, Emma. Not yet. I am asking you to let me protect you while we figure out what this is between us. Because there is something. You feel it too. I see it in the way you respond when I am close. The way your breath catches. The way you are not running even though every instinct tells you to. He's right. God help me, he's right. My body betrays me, leaning into his warmth, craving the security he represents. Or maybe it's not betrayal. Maybe it's survival instinct recognizing a predator strong enough to keep the other predators away. If I say yes, I begin carefully, what exactly does that mean? What are the rules? You and Lily live here. You have your own suite. Bedroom, bathroom, sitting room. Complete privacy when you want it. Katya will help with Lily so you can sleep, recover, have time to yourself. You will have access to everything. Cars, drivers, anything you need. In return, you have dinner with me when I am home. You let me get to know you. You give this a chance. And if I want to leave? Something dark flickers in his eyes. Then you leave. I will not hold you prisoner, Emma. But you would be walking away from protection. From security. From the chance to give Lily everything you never had. That's manipulation. That is reality. His hands fall away, and the loss of contact makes me want to pull him back. Marcus stole from dangerous men. That debt exists whether you are here or not. The only question is whether you face the consequences alone or with the full weight of the Volkov name protecting you. I turn away, gripping the railing, staring out at grounds that seem to stretch into forever. How do I know you're telling the truth about Marcus? About the danger? You do not. But ask yourself, why would I lie? Why would I go through all this trouble for a woman I just met unless the threat was real and my interest was genuine? Because men like you collect things. Beautiful things, broken things, things you can fix and own. You are not broken. His voice comes from right behind me, his chest nearly touching my back. You are bent. There is a difference. Broken things shatter when you apply pressure. Bent things flex, adapt, become stronger. You are not something to fix, Emma. You are something to protect while you find your own strength. A sound from inside makes us both turn. Katya appears in the doorway, Lily cradled in her arms, fast asleep. She took the bottle beautifully, Katya says softly. Changed, happy, sleeping like an angel. I put her in the bassinet in the blue suite. I thought perhaps Miss Emma might want to see the rooms. Nikolai looks at me, question in his eyes. This is it. The moment of decision. Go home to my cramped apartment and whatever danger lurks in Marcus's mistakes. Or step into this strange, terrifying new world with a man who promises protection, but might demand my soul in return. I look at Lily, peaceful and safe in Katya's capable arms. Look at the house behind them, warm and secure. Look at Nikolai, dangerous and compelling and offering me something I've never had. Someone strong enough to stand between my daughter and the world's cruelty. Show me the rooms, I hear myself say. Nikolai's expression doesn't change, but something blazes to life in his eyes. Triumph, possession, satisfaction. This way. The blue suite is on the second floor, overlooking the gardens. Not a bedroom, a series of rooms. A master bedroom with a bed that could sleep four, done in soft blues and creams. A sitting area with comfortable furniture and a fireplace. A bathroom that's bigger than my entire apartment, with a soaking tub and a shower that has more jets than I can count. And connected to it all, a nursery that looks like something from a magazine. Perfect in every detail, from the hand-painted murals to the rocking chair positioned to catch the morning light. The nursery was finished this afternoon, Nikolai says from the doorway. I had decorators working since yesterday. If you do not like something, it can be changed. I can't speak. Can't process the reality of a man who'd had an entire nursery designed and built in less than 48 hours. Katya lays Lily in the bassinet, an expensive designer thing that probably cost more than my car. The baby doesn't even stir, lost in the deep sleep of a well-fed newborn. I will leave you to discuss, Katya says, squeezing my shoulder as she passes. If you need anything at all, you press this button. She indicates an intercom panel by the door. I am right down the hall. Then she's gone. And it's just me, Nikolai, and my sleeping daughter in this beautiful, terrifying suite. There are clothes in the closet, Nikolai says quietly. Your size, casual things, nothing extravagant. And baby supplies, everything you might need for the next few months. If I got anything wrong, if you need something specific, just tell me. I walk to the closet, open it. He's not lying. Comfortable clothes, nursing-friendly tops, soft pants, nothing flashy, nothing that screams bought woman. Just thoughtful, practical clothes for someone in my situation. When did you do all this? I ask, my voice barely a whisper. I make decisions quickly. Once I decide I want something, I do not hesitate. He moves closer but keeps distance between us. You can sleep here tonight. See how it feels. If you wake up and decide this is not right, Alexei will drive you home in the morning. No judgment, no consequences. You'd really let me go? I would really let you go. But his next words make my heart stop. But I would also do everything in my power to keep you safe from a distance. Because that is what you do for people you... He stops, jaw tightening. For people you care about. He'd almost said something else. Something that would have made this even more complicated. I need to think, I say. Then think. I will be in my study if you need anything. He moves toward the door, then pauses. Emma, thank you for giving this a chance, for trusting me enough to see the rooms. That takes courage. Or stupidity. Sometimes they are the same thing. A ghost of a smile. Sleep well. Both of you. Then he's gone, and I'm alone in a suite that costs more than most houses, with a daughter who deserves everything, and a decision that will change both our lives forever. I don't sleep. How could I? Every time I close my eyes, I see Nikolai's face, the intensity in his gaze, the possessiveness in his touch, the promise of protection that feels more like a velvet cage closing around me. Lily wakes twice to feed, and each time I sit in that expensive rocking chair, staring at the nursery he built in less than 2 days, wondering what kind of man has that much power, and what he'll eventually expect in return. By dawn, I've made my decision. Or rather, my exhaustion and fear have made it for me. I find Nikolai in his study at 6 a.m, looking like he hasn't slept either. He stands by the window with a phone pressed to his ear, speaking rapid Russian that sounds like threats wrapped in silk. When he sees me in the doorway, he ends the call immediately. Emma. He crosses to me in 3 strides. Is everything all right? Is Lily? She's fine. Sleeping. I wrap my arms around myself, suddenly aware I'm wearing one of the soft cotton pajama sets from the closet. I need to go back to my apartment, get our things. If If we're doing this, I need to handle some practical matters. Something fierce and satisfied flashes across his face. We are doing this? For now. Trial basis. If at any point I feel uncomfortable or unsafe or like I've made a mistake, I'm gone. No arguments. No arguments. He agrees too easily. I'll have Alexei drive you. And security will accompany you. No. I hold up a hand. I need to do this alone. It's a studio apartment in a bad neighborhood. If I show up with bodyguards and a Mercedes, my landlord will triple my rent or kick me out. I need to pack, pay what I owe, and leave quietly. His jaw tightens. You are not going alone to a dangerous neighborhood. I've lived there for 2 years. I think I can handle... You have lived there for 2 years without being the target of people looking to collect Marcus's debt. His voice goes cold. You are not going anywhere without protection. That is non-negotiable. We stare at each other, wills clashing. Immovable force meeting unstoppable object. His need to control versus my need for independence. Fine, I finally say, but plain clothes, no obvious security, someone who can blend in. Done. He pulls out his phone, fires off a text. Dmitri will accompany you. He will look like a friend helping you move. Former military, speaks perfect English, knows how to be invisible when necessary. Thank you. Do not thank me for keeping you safe. That is not something you should have to be grateful for. It is the bare minimum of what you deserve. He moves closer, and my traitorous body responds to his proximity. When you get back, we need to discuss Marcus properly, what he knows about you, where you might intersect with his life, how to ensure his problems do not become yours. He doesn't know I'm here. Not yet. But he will. Men like Marcus do not handle rejection well. He will come looking eventually, if only to assuage his ego. When he does, I need you to tell me immediately. Promise me, Emma. The intensity in his voice makes me shiver. I promise. Good. His hand comes up, tucking a strand of hair behind my ear. The gesture is tender, possessive, completely at odds with the dangerous man I know he is. Be careful. Come back safe. It's just packing some clothes, not a military operation. Everything is a military operation when you are protecting something precious. His thumb grazes my cheekbone. And you are precious, Emma Harper. You and Lily both. The sooner you accept that, the easier this will be. Dmitri turns out to be everything Nikolai promised. Mid-30s, average build, wearing jeans and a hoodie that makes him look like any other guy from my neighborhood. Except for the eyes. He has soldier's eyes, constantly scanning, cataloging threats, planning escape routes. We take an unmarked sedan instead of the Mercedes. Dmitri drives with casual confidence, asking questions about my building, my neighbors, potential complications. By the time we pull up to my apartment, he probably knows the layout better than I do. I will help you carry boxes, he says as we climb the stairs. But I stay visible. Anyone asks, I am your cousin helping you move. Do you do this often? Babysit women for Nikolai. His lips quirk. I have worked for Mr. Volkov for 6 years. This is the first time he has ever asked me to protect someone like this. Usually it is business associates, visiting dignitaries, people in his world. So I'm an anomaly. You are something he cares about. That makes you more important than diplomats and businessmen combined. He pauses outside my door. He is different since he met you. Distracted. Almost human. I don't know what to do with that information, so I unlock the door and step into my apartment. It looks smaller than I remembered. Shabby in the harsh morning light. Water stains on the ceiling. Carpet that had been beige once upon a time. The sad little collection of second-hand furniture I'd accumulated over the years. This had been my life, my independence, my proof that I could survive on my own. Now, it just looks like a cage I'd been pretending was freedom. I will start in the bedroom, I say, voice thick. Packing goes faster than expected. I don't have much worth taking. Clothes, photos, a few books. The furniture can stay. The dishes are mismatched charity shop finds. The only thing that matters is the small box of keepsakes from my mother, who died when I was 16. I'm wrapping her jewelry box in newspaper when someone knocks on the door. Dmitri appears from the kitchen, hand moving to his waistband where I now realize he carries a gun. Expecting someone? No. He motions me to stay back, then opens the door a crack, body blocking the entrance. Can I help you? I'm looking for Emma Harper. Marcus's voice makes my blood freeze. I know she lives here. I need to speak with her. Dmitri glances back at me. I shake my head frantically. Sorry, man. Nobody here by that name. Previous tenant must have moved out. That's impossible. She was just in the hospital 3 days ago. This is her apartment. Do not know what to tell you. Landlord said the place was empty when I came to look at it yesterday. Maybe check with the office. I hear Marcus's frustrated sigh. Fine, thanks anyway. Dmitri waits until footsteps fade down the hallway before closing the door. That him? The ex? Yeah. My hands are shaking. How did he know I was here? He did not. He is checking your apartment, hoping to catch you home. Dmitri pulls out his phone, texts rapidly. We need to leave now. If he is desperate enough to show up here, he might be watching the building. But I haven't finished. Does not matter. Mr. Volkov is sending a team to pack the rest and put your things in storage. Right now, I need to get you out of here safely. He ushers me toward the door, carrying the box of my mother's things and my hastily packed suitcase. We make it to the car without incident, but I feel eyes on us the whole way. Paranoia or intuition, I can't tell. Dmitri drives away from my neighborhood with practiced casualness that doesn't match the tension in his shoulders. Mr. Volkov wants you back at the house immediately. He is concerned. Concerned is apparently code for furious. The moment we pull through the gates, Nikolai is there, yanking open my door before the car fully stops. Are you hurt? His hands are on me, checking, cataloging, making sure I'm intact. Did he see you? Did he touch you? I'm fine. Marcus showed up, but Dmitri handled it. He doesn't know where I am. He knows you are gone. That is enough to make him curious, desperate. Nikolai pulls me against his chest, and I feel his heart hammering beneath the expensive shirt. This is exactly what I was afraid of. He is circling, looking for leverage. If he cannot control you through the baby, he will try something else. What could he possibly? Information, money, access. Nikolai pulls back, hands gripping my shoulders. You worked at that clinic for 18 months. You know his schedule, his habits, where he goes when he does not want to be found. To the people he stole from, that information is valuable, which makes you valuable, which makes you a target. The reality of my situation crashes over me like ice water. I'm not just running from Marcus's rejection. I'm running from consequences that could get me killed. What do? I whisper. You stay here. You stay close. And you let me handle this. He tucks me against his side, guiding me toward the house. Come on, Lily is probably awake and hungry. Katya has been pacing with her for the past 20 minutes. Sure enough, I can hear Lily's cries before we even enter. Katya appears with my red-faced daughter, relief flooding her features when she sees me. There you are. She knows her mama was gone. Smart little girl. I take Lily, feeling her settle immediately against my chest. Her cries fade to whimpers, then stop altogether as she roots for milk. The normalcy of it, the simple biology of feeding my child, helps center me. Nikolai watches us with an expression I can't decipher. Hunger, longing, possession, all mixed together. I will have your things brought up, he says quietly. And I am increasing security. No one gets near this property without my knowing about it. That includes Marcus, his girlfriend, anyone associated with his father's firm. You can't just build a wall around us forever. Watch me. He moves closer, cupping my face with both hands. I told you. You are mine to protect now. That means I do whatever it takes to keep you safe. If that means walls and guards and making sure Marcus Morrison understands that touching you would be the last mistake he ever makes, then that is exactly what I will do. That sounds like a threat. That is because it is. His thumb traces my lower lip. I do not make idle threats, Emma, and I do not lose what is mine. I'm not yours. Not yet. His smile is predatory, but you will be. It is just a matter of time before you stop fighting what you already feel. The safety, the security, the way your body responds when I am near. You can lie to yourself, but you cannot lie to me. I see you, Emma. All of you. He's right. And that terrifies me more than Marcus, or stolen money, or Bratva connections. Because every hour I spend in this house, every moment of protection and care and attention, I feel myself slipping further into Nikolai Volkov's carefully constructed world. And the worst part is, I'm not sure I want to escape anymore. The next 2 weeks pass in a strange, dreamlike blur. I settle into the blue suite with Lily, and Nikolai keeps his word about privacy and space. But every evening at 7, we have dinner together. Sometimes on the terrace, sometimes in his study, sometimes in a formal dining room that seats 20 but feels intimate with just the two of us. He asks me about my life, my mother, my childhood in foster care, my dreams before Marcus convinced me to give them up. And slowly, carefully, I begin to ask him questions too. About his sister, Anya, who died at 19 trying to escape an abusive boyfriend connected to a rival Bratva family. About his mother, who passed from cancer when he was 16, leaving him to raise Anya alone. About how he built his empire from nothing, using intelligence and ruthlessness in equal measure. I was 22 when I killed my first man, he tells me one night, over wine he drinks and water I pretend is just as sophisticated. He had hurt Anya, put her in the hospital. The authorities did nothing because his family had connections, so I handled it myself. You killed him? My voice is barely a whisper. I did. No remorse in his eyes. And I would do it again. Some men do not deserve mercy, Emma. Some men only understand violence. I should be horrified, should be planning my escape. Instead, I find myself leaning closer. What happened after? After, people knew the Volkov name meant something, that we were not to be touched, that we protected our own. His hand finds mine across the table. Anya was safe for 3 years. 3 good years where she could breathe. Then she met Dmitry Kozlov's son, and everything fell apart. The boyfriend who beat her, who used her as leverage against me, who killed her when I refused to bend to his father's demands. His grip tightens. I found her too late. She had been dead for 2 days when we got to her, and I have spent every day since then making sure no one I care about ever suffers like that again. Is that what I am to you? Penance for not saving your sister? No. He pulls me to my feet, into his arms, and the solid warmth of him makes me feel safer than I've ever felt. You are not penance. You are possibility. The chance to be more than just vengeance and violence. The chance to protect someone and have them live, thrive, be happy. You are hope, Emma, and I did not realize how much I needed that until I saw you. He kisses me then. Finally. After 2 weeks of charged glances and accidental touches and mounting tension that's been driving me insane. His lips are firm, demanding, possessive. His hands grip my waist, pulling me flush against him, and I can feel every hard plane of his body. I kiss him back with a desperation that surprises me. 3 years with Marcus, and I never felt this. Never felt like I'd die if I didn't get closer, crawl inside his skin, merge completely. When we break apart, both breathing hard, his eyes are black with want. Stay with me tonight, he says. Not a question, a plea. Not for sex. Just stay. Let me hold you. Let me sleep knowing you are safe in my arms. I should say no. Should maintain boundaries and independence and all the things that keep this from becoming too complicated. Yes, I whisper instead. I'll stay. We lie in his bed, me in one of his t-shirts that swallows me whole, him in nothing but sleep pants that sit low on his hips. He pulls me against his chest, wrapping around me like he's trying to shield me from the world with his body alone. Thank you, he murmurs into my hair, for trusting me, for being here, for letting me care for you and Lily. Thank you for saving us, I whisper back, for seeing us when we needed to be seen. Always, he promises. I will always see you, Emma. Always. I fall asleep in his arms feeling safer than I have since my mother died. Feeling for the first time in years like maybe everything will be okay. I wake to screaming. Not Lily. I'd know her cries anywhere. This is electronic, shrill, urgent. Alarms blaring through the house like air raid sirens. Nikolai is already moving, out of bed and pulling on clothes in seconds. Stay here, he orders, tossing me a phone. Lock the door behind me. If anyone but me tries to come through, you press the red button. It will summon Dmitri and Alexei. Do you understand? What's happening? Someone breached the perimeter. His face is granite. Cold. The dangerous man I'd glimpsed in the hospital fully present now. Stay with Lily. Do not open this door for anyone but me. Then he's gone, and I'm alone with my racing heart and the alarm screaming through the walls. I run to the nursery. Lily's awake, crying at the noise, and I scoop her up, holding her against my chest as I lock the suite door and push furniture in front of it, barricading us in. My phone buzzes. Nikolai. 3 men on the property. Katya is safe in the panic room. Security is handling it. You stay locked in. I am coming back to you. Who are they? People who made a very bad mistake. 20 minutes pass. 20 minutes of alarms and muffled shouting and Lily crying against my shoulder while I pace the suite, checking the locks, jumping at every sound. Then silence. The alarms cut off abruptly, leaving ringing in my ears and a silence somehow worse than the noise. A knock at the door. Emma. It is me. Open up. Nikolai's voice. But I remember every thriller movie I've ever seen. Every story about women who open doors for the wrong person. Prove it's you, I call out. The first night you stayed here, you told me about your mother's jewelry box. How she had a ring your father gave her that she never took off, even when she was dying. You wear it on a chain around your neck because it is too big for your finger. You said someday you will give it to Lily. Relief floods through me. I move the furniture, unlock the door. Nikolai stands there, blood on his shirt, bruises forming on his knuckles, but whole, alive, safe. Are you hurt? I ask, even as he's crossing to me, checking me over. Not my blood. He cups my face, thumbs stroking my cheekbones. Are you all right? Is Lily? We're fine. Scared, but fine. What happened? Marcus hired men to grab you. Thought if he could get you back, he could use you to negotiate with the people he owes. Threatened to hurt you unless they forgave his debt. Nikolai's voice is ice. He gave them the layout of your apartment building, told them you lived alone with a newborn, said you would be easy to take. He didn't know I was here. He does now. One of the men talked before. He stops. Before we finished our conversation. Before they killed him. That's what he's not saying. Marcus knows you are under my protection. He knows that touching you means war. And he knows that he just made the worst mistake of his life. Nikolai's eyes burn into mine. I am going to ask you something, and I need you to be honest. Do you still have any feelings for him? Any part of you that wants to give him a chance to explain or apologize or make this right? No, I say without hesitation. He sent men to kidnap me, to take Lily. Whatever I felt for him died the moment he refused to sign her birth certificate. This just confirmed I was right to walk away. Good. Something feral and satisfied crosses his face. Because I am going to destroy him. Professionally, financially, socially. I am going to make sure he loses everything. His job, his girlfriend, his freedom, his future. And I wanted you to know, to have the chance to stop me if you had any reservations. I don't, I say. He made his choice. Now he lives with the consequences. Nikolai's smile is all teeth. Have I mentioned that I am falling in love with you? My breath catches. You said falling. Present tense. Like it's still happening. Because it is. Every day. Every moment. Every time you do something that reminds me why you are worth protecting. He kisses me, hard and possessive. Marry me. What? I pull back, staring at him. Marry me. Make it official. Make it clear to everyone that you and Lily are mine. That the Volkov name protects you. That anyone who touches you answers to me. Nikolai, that's insane. We've known each other 2 weeks. I knew the moment I saw you that you were mine. The rest has just been convincing you. He's already pulling documents from his jacket. I had the papers drawn up 3 days ago, just in case. All it needs is your signature. You're serious. Completely. His eyes burn into mine. I love you, Emma Harper. I love your strength, and your stubbornness, and the way you love Lily. I love that you are scared but brave anyway. I love that you see me, the real me, violence and danger and all, and you do not run. Marry me. Let me give you my name. Let me protect you and Lily for the rest of our lives. I should say no. Should insist we wait. Take things slow, make sure this is real and not just adrenaline and fear and proximity. But I look at him. This dangerous, devoted man who built me a nursery in 2 days, who sends drivers to make sure I get home safe, who holds me at night like I'm precious, who's willing to destroy anyone who threatens me or Lily. And I realize I'm not falling in love with him. I'm already there. Yes, I say. Let's get married. His kiss is triumphant, possessive, claiming me completely. When he pulls back, his eyes blaze with satisfaction. Mine, he breathes. Finally, completely mine. Yours, I agree. As long as you're ours. Always, he promises. Always. We get married 2 days later in his study, surrounded by Katya and Dmitri and Alexei and a handful of his most trusted people. Lily sleeps through the ceremony in Katya's arms, peaceful and perfect. I wear a simple white dress Nikolai had delivered that morning. He wears a black suit that makes him look like a dark prince from a fairy tale, the kind that steals maidens and keeps them in towers and loves them with an intensity that borders on madness. When he slides the ring onto my finger, a platinum band with diamonds that probably cost more than a house, his hand shakes slightly, the only sign of vulnerability from a man who shows the world nothing but steel. With this ring, I claim you, he says, the traditional words taking on new meaning in his mouth. My wife, my partner, mine to protect for all our days. With this ring, I choose you. I say back, my husband, my protector, mine to love for all our days. The officiant pronounces us married, and Nikolai kisses me like he's sealing a blood oath, binding us together in ways that go deeper than any legal document. That night, after the small celebration, after Lily is asleep in her perfect nursery, Nikolai carries me to his bed. Our bed now. Are you sure? He asks, even as his hands roam my body with clear intent. We can wait if you need more time to heal. I'm sure, I interrupt. I'm healed, and I want you. I want this. What happens next is tender and possessive and overwhelming. He takes his time, learning every inch of me, making me feel cherished and claimed simultaneously. When we finally come together, it's like puzzle pieces clicking into place. Like we were always meant to be here, tangled in each other, breathing the same air. Afterward, he holds me against his chest, one hand splayed possessively over my stomach. "I want more children with you," he murmurs. "Brothers and sisters for Lily. A whole house full of noise and chaos and love." "Slow down," I laugh. "Let me survive having one infant before we start planning the next." I am a man who gets what he wants. His hand slides lower, making me gasp. "And I want everything with you." 3 months later, I stand in the gardens watching Lily sleep in her expensive stroller while Nikolai conducts business on the phone in Russian. Katya tends her flowers nearby, humming something that sounds like a lullaby. Marcus is in prison. Turns out, once Nikolai started pulling threads, the entire fraud scheme unraveled. Marcus's father lost his business. Ashley left him the moment the money dried up, and Marcus himself is facing 15 years for embezzlement, fraud, and conspiracy. I should feel guilty, should feel some kind of sympathy for the man I once loved. I feel nothing but relief. "Mrs. Volkov," Dmitri approaches with a package. "This arrived for you." Inside is a photo album, pictures of Lily from the past 3 months. Me and Nikolai at our wedding. Lily's first smile. The 4 of us, me, Nikolai, Lily, and Katya, on the terrace having Sunday dinner. A family. Unconventional. Dangerous. Built from desperation and protection and unlikely love. But ours. Completely, perfectly, terrifyingly ours. Nikolai finishes his call and joins me, wrapping his arms around my waist from behind. "What are you thinking about, Moya Zhena?" "My wife." He calls me that now, possessive, proud. "I'm thinking about that night at the hospital," I say. "When I was alone and terrified and convinced I'd ruined my life. When I thought there was no way forward." "And now?" His breath is warm against my neck. "Now I'm thinking that sometimes the scariest thing you can do is trust someone strong enough to catch you when you fall." "I will always catch you," he promises. Always. I turn in his arms, rising on my toes to kiss him. I know. That's why I fell. Lily wakes up with a cry, and we both move toward her automatically. This is our life now. This strange, beautiful, dangerous life we built from nothing. And I wouldn't change a single moment. Not the hospital. Not the fear. Not the desperate choice to accept help from a stranger. Because that stranger became my husband. My protector. My home. And Lily, the daughter Marcus didn't want, is growing up knowing she's cherished by a man who chose to be her father. Who loves her as fiercely as if she were his own blood. 6 months later, I'm pregnant again. This time it's planned. This time I'm not alone in the hospital. Nikolai refuses to leave my side through 18 hours of labor, holding my hand through every contraction, whispering encouragement and promises in Russian and English both. When our son is born, Ivan Nikolai Volkov, he takes one look at him and cries. Actual tears running down the face of a man who's killed people with his bare hands. "He is perfect," he whispers, pressing kisses to my sweaty forehead. "You are perfect. Our family is perfect." "We're not perfect," I correct him. "We're real, and that's better." "Yes," he agrees. "That is much better." We take Ivan home 2 days later. Lily, now 9 months old, is fascinated by her little brother. She pats his head with chubby hands while Katya supervises, and Nikolai watches with an expression of such complete contentment that it makes my heart hurt. This is everything I never knew I wanted, everything I didn't think possible. And it all started with a desperate woman in a hospital hallway, and a dangerous man who decided she was worth saving. 2 years later, we stand in the same hospital where we met. But this time we're visiting, not staying. Nikolai's established a foundation in Anya's name, providing support for single mothers. Housing, childcare, job training. Everything I wished I'd had when Lily was born. We're here for the opening ceremony, And as I watch young mothers with babies in their arms receive keys to their new apartments, I think about how far we've come. Do you ever regret it? Nikolai asks quietly. Saying yes that night? Letting me into your life? I look at him, my husband, the father of my children, the man who rebuilt my life from ashes. Never, I say. Not for a single second. He smiles, that rare, genuine smile he reserves only for me and our children. Good. Because I am never letting you go. I know, I say, leaning into his warmth. That's exactly what I'm counting on. We go home together, to our fortress, our family, our beautiful, complicated, dangerous life. And I finally understand what it means to be safe. Not because nothing bad can happen, but because someone strong enough will fight like hell to protect you when it does. That's what Nikolai gave me. Not just protection, but the freedom to stop being afraid. And that, I've learned, is the truest kind of love there is.